Chapter 11. Cord reluctantly pried one eye open. His head was on something hard and his neck hurt. Shapes blurred in front of him. He tried to focus and winced as his head throbbed. What happened last night? He slowly sat up. He was at a table. He squinted to make out the shapes. One was Ironside, slumped and lifeless. One was an empty glass. Behind that were two empty wine bottles. Ah, so a night of thinking and drinking. Lots of both. Last night Amofa said he knew how Kodan stopped Karul. That was a huge revelation. The implications far-reaching. For the past 50 years the Seekers hadn't even been sure it was Kodan who defeated Karul. They assumed it was him, but the man vanished and took all of his secrets with him. All anybody had known for sure was that Karul's unstoppable army had suddenly powered down and never moved again. Nobody knew how it happened. There had been speculation and theories. There were clues left behind. When the mages had finally broken into Karul's wagon, long after he had abandoned it, all they found was a board and his books. Thank the gods he didn't have time to take those books, or the Seekers wouldn't have known the tiles existed at all. The books contained all of Karul's plans and designs. It told them how he built the constructs, and how he powered them by sliding runes of power through stored magic. That was the first WHISP board. The Seekers took that board. They had high hopes. If they could find the 6 tiles, then they could bring Karul's army back to life. They could control the constructs. They could meet Karul's next invasion with his own creations. It never happened. The constructs still sit outside the walls of Rulorn, rusting away. The mages disappeared. One by one the Seekers gave up. Only Cord was left, searching for something without knowing what it looked like, or where to start. Amofa knew what happened to those tiles. He must do. Cord should have grabbed him and forced him to spill his secrets. Cord grimaced. That would not have gone well. Amofa was said to be one of the most dangerous men in Winter's Edge, an immortal assassin that plied his trade throughout the centuries. Cord had never met him before last night. He didn't seem that dangerous, just a bit strange. Came from living too long, Cord expected. Cord actually found himself liking the man. Once he got past the fear of sudden death, he wasn't too bad. Cord stood up. His path was clear. Find the assassins, call in Amofa, and then find out what he knew. He gathered up Ironside and his sword, and stepped out onto the balcony. Cord squinted in the morning light. The Nobles district almost looked regal when you managed to ignore the slum towers that surrounded it. The streets were well kept and lined with young trees. The servants were already moving down below, off on errands, while their masters slept in. The tallest tower lay on the other side of the Nobles district, the Tower of the Lady, the unofficial ruler of yore, despite what Pirate Bowl would have you believe. She was a ruthless old battle axe, that one, not above using the dagger when diplomacy failed. And Magnus was fast becoming a rival. She could have decided to end his rise to power the abrupt way. Cord frowned. He doubted she would have used unsanctioned assassins. Nobody wanted to get on the wrong side of the Assassin's Guild, especially if Amofa was in town. Still, she probably knew something. Her web stretched over the entire city. You couldn't step out of your house without her knowing about it. She was probably expecting his visit. Cord sighed and stepped off the balcony. The end of chapter 11. And once again, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed that, please leave me a generous tip of 1 like. And also feel free to subscribe. Thank you again. See you soon.